Hello, good afternoon, welcome to Rob and Suzi's allotment adventure part 23. It is Sunday the 30th of March, it's Mother's Day here in the UK. We'll give you a walk down the plot. It's been 5 months since our last visit, and we'll show you the progress. We have got headline news of Frogspawn. Tadpoles. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. The wind might be stopping you from hearing me, but in the middle of the frog spawn is some little tadpoles. So success at last in the wildlife pond, which is great news. I'm super thrilled about finally getting some frog spawn. We missed the boat with the first year really, but last year we never got anything in there, even though there was a full spring for them to get in there and do the do, but they didn't want to know. Hey ho. It's a wildlife area, a few daffodils coming up and some primroses. Still a mountain of wood chip to go down. The paths haven't been done over the winter, too wet. Beds cultivated, ready for planting. Last year's sweet corn stalks are there, because I'm hoping to get some broad beans, and I've been told and do a bit of research that they like to be dug down deep, and the roots like to find some nutrients, so I have to dig down, bury the stalks and things, and they hopefully will thrive. Cage has been moved from its position of last year, ready for broccoli and cauliflowers going in there. That's where the potatoes were last year. And in the crop rotation, the way to do things is brassicas, which is cauliflowers, broccoli, cabbage, those sort of vegetables. They go in after potatoes. So they're going in there, and another, that's some remnants. I'm going to build up and put the mesh over the top of there soon, ready, but nothing will be going in for 2 or 3 months. Brassicas don't go in very early. You can hopefully see the rest of the beds are prepped and ready for whatever I want to put in, really. Down to the only thing that's actually planted. There are 200 onion sets in there, and they had some light mesh over the top just to stop the inquisitive birds pulling them up. Well, hopefully now the green top is coming up. That means that the roots have taken, and hopefully the jackdaws or the blackbirds won't pull them up to see what they are. Compost bins full of bits of everything, household goodies. The strawberry bed's been thinned out, the runners cut off, hopefully decent spacings. And then where there used to be an apple tree, there is no more. I got sick of the apple tree. Here we go, we'll come back a little bit. Here's the apple tree main trunk, and as you can see by the root, that's where it was in the ground too, and there's about 6 or 7 inches of root, and when I pulled it up, it was planted on top of a piece of carpet, which was obviously put there to suppress the weeds, but didn't do the root system any good. So I think that's why the apples never came to a lot of fruition, because they weren't really getting much nutrients or moisture. So that's going to get rotavated. I've dug, if you can look in here, that's the plum slate that was in a big heap. That's been dug out and sieved. put into a bag, and then that will get rotavated and levelled out, and then I'm going to put some weed suppressant down and put some patio slabs down, which I have already acquired last year, or in fact the first year I think. And then I've acquired 3 of these raised beds, and one of those is going, that one there is actually going in as is. It's going to be filled up with a 50-50 mix of compost and soft sand, and I'm going to grow my carrots in there, because carrots don't really like this clay soil up here. I was having them deformed and things, so I'm going to give that a go. As is the life of the allotment here. You acquire things. I got 4 of those for free. I've given one away already to a nice chap who gave me a lift with it. I gave a lift with 2 of them. So as payment and thanks for him doing that, he got a spare one. So I'm going to cut the end. Well, it's got the end here. I'm going to cut one of them in half, take the short ends off, and put 2 half-size ends, and make a cold frame for growing lettuce and spring onions and radishes and that sort of thing in, and also hardening off the seedlings before they go out into the main garden. I've never had one before, so I've got all the stuff for free, just a bit of time and effort, and hopefully we'll be able to get that done this spring. We've got a few weeks before we really need to get the carrots sown, and then it's just a case of putting the lettuce in and staggering the planting, because I always get carried away and sow lots of seeds all at the same time, and then everything's ready at the same time, and you have to give half of it away because you can't eat it all. I'm actually facing into the sun there, aren't you? Schoolboy error. I'm trying not to squint by not being in the sun. Sorry if you were blurry, but then again that's probably a bonus if you can't see my ugly mug. You can see the countryside around, or the sun. That's about it really for the tour. I'll just finish off by showing you this fantastic Acer. That's the most beautiful colours I've ever seen on an Acer, and we inherited that for free. It came with the plot shoved around the back of the shed that fell down. If you've been watching it from the start, you'll remember the state of the shed. If you don't remember, if you haven't been watching from the start, go back to the start and watch all 22, 23 now episodes. That'll while away an exciting evening, I'm sure. It'll be they average about 10 minutes, so that'll be about 4 hours of viewing. Oh dear, 4 hours of listening to me. That's a depressing thought. But if you're into allotmenting, you haven't done one before, you have a look at what it started off like, life like, and then hopefully you can see that a bit of hard work. It's coming up the 2nd anniversary, so 2 years I've had this plot, and it's getting there. It's finally getting there. One thing I didn't show you actually, I got carried away with my waffling about the raised bed. There is the soft fruit area. That's my raspberries. Raspberries and blueberries, and I think there's some red currants in there, but because I inherited them, I didn't know what was autumn fruiting, what was summer fruiting, and you have to prune them differently depending on which. Summer fruiting fruits on last year's growth, and autumn fruiting fruits on this year's growth, but I didn't know which was which, so it's all had a massive haircut and got cut down to about a foot, maybe 18 inches off the floor, and then I'm going to wrap something around each stalk so I know what's what, and then I think I'm going to dig them all up and put them in rows properly, because they're very random at the moment. Put them in rows of summer fruiting together and autumn fruiting, then I'll know what to prune and when. So there we go. And hopefully I'm going to get a cage over it. I've got the wood to do it, but I just haven't got any mesh yet, because it's an absolute fortune. But I did come into a little bit of money the other day. While I was out walking the dog, I found somebody's suitcase in the middle of the road, and they gave me a very generous reward when I managed to reunite the suitcase with the owners, because they were on the way to the Maldives. So that would have been not a very good thing when they got to Heathrow to take the suitcases out, and there was no suitcase there. Hey ho. So the reward might be getting spent on some mesh, but it'll definitely be getting spent on the allotment anyway. It'll pay for the ground rent for the year, and plants and compost and things like that. So right, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if this is your first time. If it's not, then thanks for rejoining me after such a long break. Hopefully the next one won't be as long. Now spring's finally sprung, we can get on here, and now the clocks have gone forward, might be able to get on here for an hour after work. So, thanks for watching again, and we'll catch you soon. Bye.